Hey guys, welcome back to Hellstormwargaming and welcome back to Coffee Time, our Sunday show where we sit and talk about Warhammer or other stuff about Warhammer, I guess. Not much has happened in the week of Warhammer this week. Normally I like to sit and review what's happening or an interesting topic that's quite relevant, but outside of the app that I gave a trashing review to last week that has currently been updated, so it's not going to be so trash. Good job, GW. There isn't anything crazy happening, so what I thought I'd do is, if you saw our video on Friday, we put our battle report, which was only 1,000 points. It was Incursion, which is Blood Ravens versus Thousand Suns. I really enjoyed playing that because I pretty much used purely Indomitus, and by what I mean by that is an army made up of the new units from Indomitus. Nearly every unit in that box was new, or it had something that was new to the Space Marines or to the game that we'd not seen before. So I thought it'd be fun to sit down today and review I'll call it my least favourite to favourite, or probably on the title is best to worst, hashtag clickbait. So I've got all the units from that box and I've ranked them on how good I think they are. I should say that I've ordered them in isolation, so one of the units is quite low, but with another unit it might work quite well, for example. But this is purely in isolation. It's how good is this unit on its own. So I'd love to hear what you guys think to my order, whether you agree or whether you disagree, whether you rank someone higher, what would you rank them from best to worst. Let us know. I can't wait to hear it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Small caveat, the Primaris Chaplain is one of the new units in the box. However, I've taken him out.
'Cause I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me.
Reason being is that whilst he's new, and he is by far my favourite model ever, and I love him, he doesn't really add anything. He's essentially just got the same profile as the other Primaris Chaplain that we've already seen. So for him, he's just another model. He's not a new unit in my opinion. And so the Chaplain lives on his own, outside the ranking. Look how cute he is though, he's so pretty. Let's get into it. The controversial time. Everyone's gonna hate me. The worst unit in the box set, I think, is the BLADEGUARD Ancient. Reason being is he is quite limiting. Now, you could say, oh well, but he lets you shoot when you die. And it's yeah, fair enough. He's alright for that. But the problem is with him, compared to the other Primaris Ancient that we already have, which has a bolt rifle, he has a pistol, he doesn't have a normal shooting weapon, and he doesn't have a combat weapon either. He just has a heavy bolt pistol and the banner. If that was a combat weapon, he'd be the best unit in the box, but it's not. It's just a hand, it's just for show. So yes, he can help units do better and then shoot as they die. He does have a rule known as Deeds of Heroism, so all BLADEGUARD units get +1 to hit. So if you're using him with a BLADEGUARD, then he is quite good. But if you're just wanting an Ancient, then the Primaris Ancient from Dark Imperium, which I don't even know you can buy anymore, is still probably the best one. I think the way I've ranked this one is that he's not the worst unit, but he just adds the least. Solo is pretty rubbish. It's just, why would you take him? You just take the other one. So he's the worst one in the box. So number 2, worst unit, or slightly better than the BLADEGUARD Ancient, is, and I think I'm probably going to get told off for this one as well, but I think that Assault Intercessors are actually pretty bad. Comparatively to other armies, they're really good, but comparatively to Intercessors, I don't think they're that good. Now, I've used these in a couple of games, and one of the games was against Imperial Knights, so they didn't do anything, so I can't really count that one. Yes, they have a heavy bolt pistol, which is alright, and they have chainswords, which are Astartes chainswords, which are AP1 now. And the idea of Intercessors charging across the battlefield with chainswords is amazing, and it sounds really cool, you know, just angry dudes with revving them up and just being really angry. But the fact that they are so close in point as normal Intercessors who can take a proper gun, and then when they're in combat, they're only down 1 attack. I can't see this unit being taken over Intercessors that much. Now, as White Scars, as a combat-based army that can advance and charge, then these are a lot better, obviously. But in most lists, I think you're probably better off taking Intercessors. Reason being is because if you want to advance and charge, you can take Assault Bolters, 3 shots at 24-inch range. They're AP1 with the Tactical Doctrine that improves the AP of all rapid-fire and assault weapons from turn 2 and during turn 3. And currently, they have a lot more options for the Sergeants, such as Thunderhammers and Power Fists, so you can have a really hard-hitting monster in there, surrounded by ablative wounds to get that weapon in combat. Now, this unit could change when the Codex comes out in October. That has already been announced. But currently, as it stands, I think you're probably better off taking Intercessors. But that's my opinion. Let me know. Assault Intercessors are bad. They're not great. They're not amazing. Okay, next on the list is one I've been quite vocal about. The Judiciar. As cool as he looks, I don't think he adds that much. He has a pistol. He has a cool sword. Fair enough. He doesn't have an in-running outside of combat. And his tempo mortis ability, which is essentially at the start of the fight phase, choose a unit within 6 inches and it cannot fight until other units have fought that phase. I think his ability is good, but it's very limiting, especially because it's such short range. Something like the Foul Blight Spawn from the Death Guard Codex has a 7-inch bubble, which if you touch it at all, you count as not charging, which loses all those abilities, such as fighting first and any other abilities that might add strength to you if you charge, such as Shiny Spears have an ability where if they charge, they times their strength by 2. Whereas I think this is a good defensive ability, but I don't think it's like game breaking. It's not like you need this unit in your army right now because he is broken. I don't really run combat based armies, but maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think? Do you like the Judicia? Let me know what you guys think. So we're on the climb now. We're about halfway. And we've got 2 little short ones, and I don't know if these are going to be separate. I don't think one's better than the other, but I think these kind of sit on in the same level. And I've put the Primaris Captain and Primaris Lieutenant here. I'd probably say Lieutenant then Captain is best. The reason being is that Primaris characters are really good. They have a lot of wounds, but they always fall down to the fact that they don't have an invulnerable save compared to their firstborn counterparts. Obviously, these guys do. The fact that the Storm Shield is worded weirdly in this book, that it doesn't act the same way as it does in the Codex, is probably something that we can see changing throughout the game. Come the new Codex for 9th edition, I can probably see a lot of the Storm Shields following the same wording. So before it was you gained a 3+ invulnerable save, now it's add 1 to your saving throws and you get a 4+ invulnerable save. Now, they're actually quite good in combat. Like, a lot of Primaris Lieutenants, they come with a power sword or they come with a bolter. But these guys, they are a little bit more combat based because of the Crusade thing, and they've got a shield, so if they do end up in combat, at least they're not just going to get walloped by one Thunderhammer or something like that. They do have a save against it. The Mastercrafted Power Sword is actually quite good, and I know I slated the Assault Intercessors for getting an AP and stuff like that, but the fact that they're Strength 5 and -3 and 2 damage is actually really good, because you're going to be wounding stuff a lot easier than you normally would, because it's strength 5. You can wound knights on 5, you can wound other space marines on 3s. Obviously you're near yourself, so you're going to be re-rolling either 1s to hit or 1s to wound, especially because the lieutenant actually gets like 5 attacks on the charge. If you watch the battle report from Friday, the incursion game, then you know I like him. The Primaris Captain with his relic shield is actually pretty cool as well. And he's got a 4+ against mortal wounds. He's actually really strong, and it can make him super survivable and just keep him around for longer, because he is a support character really. He's got a cool sword as well. He gets 6 attacks on the charge. He is there to kind of buff your army, not really to like go off into the wilderness and kill everybody for you. Okay, top 3 now. You know what's left. It's all the other units, right? And I've ranked these on what I think are crucial in the army. So in 3rd place, I have put the BLADEGUARD veterans. I really like these, and these top 3 are actually pretty tough to actually like put in a good order. But the BLADEGUARD veterans are basically 3 wound intercessors with the Mastercrafted Power Sword that we just talked about on the characters, as well as the Storm Shield like we talked about on the characters. So these are just like a really, really, really good combat unit, because they're actually really cheaper. I think they're only like just around 100 points for all 3. And they have a 2-up armor save, a 4+ invulnerable save, 4 and 5 attacks on the charge from the Sergeant, and they are strength 5, -3 and 2 damage. I mean, what's not to love? And the fact that they're so cheap and so many wounds as well is really, really good. If they were only 2 wounds, I think I'd rank them lower, but the fact that they've bumped them to 3 for no other reason than please buy this box, I think it makes them quite interesting. They do need support, and obviously with the BLADEGUARD Ancient, which we ranked the lowest, they are quite interesting because now they're hitting on 2s. But stick these in Impulsor and yeet them out for a charge, or bring them on from reserve into your opponent's back lines from turn 3 from strategic reserve, where you can come on any board edge. Or you could just use them as a powerhouse unit just to walk up the table, hold the objectives. It's kind of like a bully unit. I think these are really interesting. I really enjoyed using them the other day as well, so I ranked these in number 3. Top 2 now. You already know what's in number 1, don't you? Because it's just obvious. In 2nd place, I've put the Eradicators, and I think these are really, really good. I really like these. So the Eradicators are the Gravis Melter boys. You know, they can move and shoot with their assault melter rifles, and if they shoot the same target, which you always will, you get to shoot twice. So the fact that the melter rifle is 24-inch range, it's essentially a multi-melter. If you've got normal Space Marines, it's the same profile, it's just a different name. So the fact that these guys can move and shoot, and then still shoot twice if they shoot the same target, makes them quite interesting, because it extends their threat range from 24 to 29. Like the aggressors, which can shoot twice, but they have to stand still, which really limits their threat range, because you kind of want to go, I want to stand still, but I'm 18-inch range, but if I move, I'm 23-inch range. But the fact that these guys can just move and shoot, they can advance and still shoot twice. It doesn't say that they can't advance. So these guys can can advance and still shoot. So you imagine white scars, for example, that ignore the assault penalty for when they advance. You can move 5, add d6 to that move, and then still shoot 6 melter shots into a knight or something like that. So I think these guys are actually really, really scary. I think this is a really, really clutch unit for just popping transports. Transports are so big in the meta right now because of the fact that the entire game is built on holding objectives. That the fact that you kill a transport, then a bunch of dudes get out. But the fact that the eradicators exist, that you can just go, okay, see that rhino over there?
Not gonna go there.
I think you're going to see these a lot, and me personally, I think they're quite crucial in a Space Marine list now. If you can take these in units of 6, come the Codex, oh baby, oh baby. So in top place, you probably all saw it coming because everyone knows my opinion on this unit, but it is the Outriders, the biker boys. They take the top spot in my review of the Indomitus units on the tabletop. So why are these guys so good? They're bikes. What's that mean? They're fast. They like to do the drive. They like to do the drift. They have some decent shooting as well. All have heavy bolt pistols, which is great, but they all have twin bolt rifles, so the rapid fire 2, turn 4 and -1. From turn 2 and turn 3, they're going to be -2 as well. So that's 4 shots from each bike, which is pretty cool. They also all have the Astartes chainsword, which I previously slated, but on a unit which is so fast that doesn't need support of impulses or anything like that, then it's actually quite interesting because they're strength 4 and -1 AP. Obviously they have quite a few attacks, but then they have the devastating charge rule, which makes it even more attacks. So it's an absolutely horrific amount of attacks because each one will get 6 attacks on the charge, which is just bonkers. As well, because they are a bike, they have access to some stratagems in the Space Marine Codex, so when they move they can get 4+ invulnerable, and if they advance they can get a 3+ invulnerable, which is quite good. Makes them quite survivable. So again, I've spoken about white scars already. You can advance and shoot with these guys. Well, you can advance and then still charge, for example, and give them that invulnerable save from any shooting attacks on the way in, and they can hit quite hard. But 9th edition is kind of like, you have like 2 ways to win, I think. You have horrific shooting, or you have durable units which don't die, which can just hold objectives. So the whole game is about being in a place and holding an objective. The killing part is kind of like in addition. There's quite a few secondaries which are based on killing, but a lot of them can just be battlefield supremacy. Having a unit of Outriders that move 14 that are so fast, and then they have 4 wounds each, which are and tough as fire, which are really durable as well. Worst unit I think is the BLADEGUARD Ancient, and the best unit is the Outriders. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments and let me know if you agree, whether you disagree. Overall, I think it's some really, really good additions to the Space Marines Codex, and I'm obviously a big Space Marine fan. I pretty much exclusively play Space Marines at tournaments, and I have done since the end of 7th edition, so I'm not a bandwagoner, so shut up. If you like this video, then I might do a Necron one, because I am starting to get into Necrons as well. I've very nearly finished painting all of the Indomitus stuff. I've been busy trying to make loads of cool videos for you, which means I have less painting time right now. But I just want to say a massive thank you for everyone who's watching, and thank you everyone who has supported. Obviously, everyone who bought the small Wargaming t-shirt. I'll be putting post updates about that soon. We'll be announcing the Indomitus box set winners a couple of days, probably tomorrow on the live stream. But otherwise, I just want to say thank you very much to everyone for just being awesome. And I hope everyone is well, and hope you're all having a great day. Thank you very much for watching. There's a 55% of you haven't subscribed to watch the channel, so let's get it back to 69% because that's funny. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much for watching. Check out the other videos if you can. You can join the small bug gang by clicking down there. If you become Primaris, you get extra videos every single Wednesday. Otherwise, have a great day. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye now.